Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Morning Coffee. Thank you so very much for tuning in. So this is going to be your daily general energy reading. Yes, please keep in mind that time is an illusion and energies are fluid. So this reading is not dated for any specific time. Whenever you are guided to watch this reading and it resonates for you, then that's the message for you in that moment. If it doesn't resonate for you right away, maybe try and come back at a later date or just pay attention to it now. You may find that later on down the road, holy moly, that totally resonated. Yes. Also keep in mind that this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, kids. So it's been a really interesting morning. And I'm getting quite a bit of a later start than I normally would. And I want to talk about that. So there's going to be a little bit of story time. Yes, so story time. Yay. For those of you that are not interested in story time, there is a timestamp down in the comments section that'll take you straight to the reading. Yeah? All right, kids. So check it out. I woke up at 3 in the morning, which seems to be somewhat normal for me. Actually, it was more like around 4. And so I didn't want to necessarily get out of bed just then. I thought that was maybe a little bit too early, so I decided to lay there. So I laid down, laid on my back, and just meditated. Focused on my breath, allowed my thoughts to go by. Observed my thoughts and all that stuff, and just focused on meditating and connecting and whatever. And I started to slip into a meditative state. I noticed in that meditation this morning that I was like slipping into that state, and I noticed the resistance that my conscious mind was bringing into play. And one of my guides kind of was coaching me. It was kind of cool. One of my feminine guides was coaching me into this meditative state. So eventually I did slip, but instead of slipping into like a meditative state, I slipped into the dream state. And let me tell you, y'all, I had an experience that was pretty freaking intense. So, and this is part of the reason why I'm kind of looking a little shaggy today, because I had this experience and then I woke up. I'm going to explain what the experience was, but I had this experience and I woke up around like 7:30-ish, 7 o'clock, and I was so groggy that I needed to like take some time to like really wake up. And finally I said to myself, well, Eric, the best way to like really wake up and stay up is to sit up out of bed. And so eventually that's what I did. But even after that, I needed to take some time and just like allow myself to wake up. And this was a little later than I would normally get up. Normally, I'm like starting to record morning coffee by like 7:30 in the morning, or at least I like to be 6:30, 7:30, something like that. But lately, it's been around 7:30. But today, man, I couldn't do it. And so that actually coincided with my landlord coming in and fixing some stuff for me, like in my bathroom. Remember 2 days ago, my light in my bathroom just like went out, stopped working. And also my shower had been leaking. So he came and he fixed all that. So me needing some extra time to like really get up and like wake up was perfect timing, because that allowed him to do what he needed to do so that my bathroom would be in the right place. So during that time, I actually, instead of doing morning coffee, I worked on a TikTok video. So there's a new TikTok video out at Your Unicorn Oracle, if you'd like to follow me there on TikTok. But so that was kind of productive. But this dream that I had, oh my God, you guys, it was insane. So I was very, very, very conscious in this dream. And I feel like the meditation that I was doing beforehand that allowed me to slip into the dream state here helped me be this conscious. And I'll explain what happened, but eventually in the dream, I got to the point where I was so conscious and things were so crazy and so weird that I was like, okay, it's obvious. I'm obviously dreaming. Eric, you have got to wake up. Like that's the first time that I can remember that I was I was conscious enough to recognize that I was dreaming and say it to myself. But things were so crazy and there was so much going on that I still ended up getting like wrapped up in somewhat of the fear of it, but because things were really weird, but also just all of the things that were going on, and just there was so much weird stuff happening that I was just trying to just comprehend all of it. So at one point I did say to myself, okay, it's obvious that I'm dreaming here. But that's because in the setting, the dream setting, I was in my apartment, which I'm in right now, my apartment here in Puerto Rico. And for some reason, I don't remember why, but for some reason I walked into the studio. I mean, I guess I just became conscious in the dream, and I was walking around my apartment, and I came into the studio here, and all of my stuff was gone. Like, this room is pretty packed. I have a dresser over there. I have an L-shaped desk over here. I have a desk that I'm using to do readings right here. And I've got a shelf here. I've got the bookshelf here. Like, I have a lot of stuff in this room. And I walked in, and it was all gone. The table that I used to do the readings was gone. My L-shaped desk was gone. The dresser that I have was gone. However, there was a different dresser. There was a bigger, this is like a small, like 4-drawer brown wooden desk, or dresser, excuse me. The dresser that was the new dresser, or the different dresser that was in, number one, was on the opposite side of the room. Number two, it was this bigger, ornate, more decorative white dresser. And it's interesting because I remember mentioning to myself, oh, there's the new dresser, because I was trying to get a new dresser at one point because, like I mentioned, my clothes were starting to get moldy in that dresser, but that's just because of all the humidity here in Puerto Rico. But I'm not using a dresser anymore because I've just decided to hang everything up in my closet, because that way it will be able to air out, won't get so moldy. Okay, but I think the only thing that was in here that was like my stuff, I think my cards were still here. I think I do remember thinking or seeing that the cards were here. So that was good, but everything else was gone. And I was starting to freak out, and I was calling out for my landlord because he lives above me. And I'm like, dude, like, and I kept calling out for him, but I couldn't, he wasn't answering. I couldn't find him. I went outside and I looked up at the sky, and this is actually what really started to freak me out. Because the sky, half of it was dark, like nighttime, and the other half was like some light. It was more like colorful in the sky. I remember seeing oranges and blues as if like the sun was rising, but it was so freaky. Like, I looked at it and it freaked me the fuck out. Like, I was like, what is happening? Because I was very conscious in this dream. I thought I was awake in my apartment, and I'm freaking out because now all my stuff is gone. And I'm like, how is my stuff gone? How did somebody get into my apartment? Blah, blah, blah. And if some of you remember, I lost my keys a few months ago, and I had this fear that someone was going to like get into my apartment, only to come home one night to find that the cats are outside when I distinctly remember leaving them inside. So that caused me to change the locks on my apartment. But so now I'm having this dream where like my stuff has been taken, and I'm finding, and then as the dream was progressing, I was finding random pairs of shoes in the apartment that were not mine. Or at least I don't remember them being mine. So that in my mind was like there were people in my apartment leaving shoes around. That's weird. But so anyway, so I'm outside trying to find my landlord, looking up at the sky thinking, what the fuck is that? That's freaking me out. And then to the right of me was a house of people. And it didn't look like the house that is actually to the right of me, that where I live here. It was much more looked more like the houses that I grew up around in, like Westchester, New York. But the thing about it was they were kind of open, like they weren't completely closed in. I could see into the apartment, or not the apartment, the house. I could see like the living room, the kitchen, and like the walls. The walls were taken away. You guys, if you've ever played The Sims, and you know the different views in like of the building where you can keep some of like the outside of the building seen, but then you see the inside of it instead of just taking all the walls down. That's kind of what it looked like for me. And if you've never played The Sims, I'm sorry, I don't know how else to explain it. But so I was looking over to the right, and I guess I started asking the people in that house, you know, if they had seen my landlord or anything. But then the men, and this was a black family, the men and the boys in that house were the ones that I interacted with first. And they were saying things to me like, yeah, go on, leave, get out of here. We don't need you. We don't want you around here. This, that, the third, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what the hell? And they were being extremely judgmental and just judging me on first sight. And it was both the men and the young boys. Keep that in mind, okay? And then I don't remember exactly what they were saying to me, but they were saying things that were really judgmental, very accusatory. And eventually I was like, well, first of all, I was trying to talk to them about it. I was trying to understand what they were saying, but then eventually I started saying back, I was like, that's exactly it. That's that judgment that I'm talking about, or blah, blah, blah. And at this time, by this point, I was talking to like the young boys, and they were like, whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay, obviously I got you on that point. But it's at that point that then the young girls came forward, not adult women, no, young girls. They started coming forward, and these are all Black individuals. They started coming forward and saying, look, just get out of here, just go, just go. And they started like ushering me back away from the building. But as they were doing that, they were saying, we love you, we appreciate you, this, that, and the third, right? And that is actually directly related to what I've been experiencing here in Puerto Rico. I've experienced a lot of judgment, a lot of hate, a lot of malice, a lot of even homophobia from masculine individuals here. But then it's the feminine, the women that have been somewhat more accepting. I mean, it's there. Unfortunately, homophobia is still a thing here in Puerto Rico, also in just Latin culture. Okay, and I'm not trying to like stir up at the pot or anything, but this is something. This dream that I had is directly related to what I've been experiencing here in Puerto Rico over time, and things that I've come to understand and come to notice. And so these young girls were ushering me away from this situation, and then they were just walking with me, and then all of a sudden the scene changed, and we were back in New York City, and we were walking around New York City, and I'm like, wait a second, how did we get here? Blah, blah, blah. This is New York. And it was the strangest thing ever. And then I was walking with an individual that resembled Laverne Cox. I don't the transgender woman, the famous actress, excuse me. But I was walking with Laverne Cox, and we were singing, and my singing wasn't too good, but I think that was a lack of self-confidence. I feel like this dream was just a representation of my fears that I am working on purging, or whatever I've been experiencing. Part of me kind of wanting to go back to New York just because I miss it. I mean, New York is my home, but it will always be my home. It's where I grew up. But at the same time, it's like, really don't want to be there right now, you know? And I'm sorry, I love you, New York, but I feel very blessed and lucky to be not only here, but like somewhere like here where I can ride out whatever is going on in the world, you know, and be safe and be in my own space. But yeah, it was such a weird dream. It was so incredibly vivid. And when I woke up, I really had to work to get out of bed, like crazy hard. And like I said, it coincided with my landlord coming in and fixing some stuff, which is interesting because in the dream I was searching for him, trying to find him to like figure out who had taken my stuff. And then here he comes to fix that morning. He comes to fix things in my apartment. And so, yeah. And so that's kind of why I'm looking a little shaggy. Like my hair isn't as slicked as normal. I probably could use a shave, but it's like by the time everything was done, I was like, you know what? It's late enough. Let me just do this reading and we can all be a little shaggy together, right? Okay. But that was story time, kids. Whew. All right. So let me know in the comments section down below if like your interpretations, or if you guys are experiencing anything crazy like that too. Yeah? Okay. Here we go. Let's get into today's reading. Yeah? Hi, Spirit. Please make me a clear channel for the collective at this time. Please bring forward the best messages to serve our highest good and the highest good of all involved. Please help to provide us with the greatest clarity that we need in terms of our lives at this moment. Thank you so very much, Spirit. Alrighty, kids. Let's see what we've got here for us today. We're going to give this 5 shuffles, yeah? 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alrighty, kids. What's going on with the collective today? Okay. So this is no surprise. I mean, we have cycles closing out. I do believe the death card flashed me as I was shuffling here. I got a really quick glimpse of it. I think it was the death card, but you have the world here. Yeah. With the King of Wands. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, you do have Judgment. Okay, so what I feel like is what's going on for us right now is we are well aware of the cycles that are closing out in front of us here. And it's like we're just waiting for the right time to strike, or we're waiting for the moment to move forward here. Yeah, Judgment with Strength and the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, wait, I do want to pull one more, but let's start because I want to talk about what's at the bottom of the deck here. You have Judgment, Strength, 9 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, to the 2 of Wands. Ooh, to the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Swords. Excuse me, and the 10 of Cups. Ooh, wow, you guys, with the Tower and the Emperor. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the dealio, yo. So, oh, wait. So we know that there are cycles that are closing out. And right now, this King of Wands energy, okay, waiting for the right time to strike, moving forward confidently, just sitting back and allowing the universe to provide us with the moments to say, okay, it's time to move, it's time to strike, it's time to take action. That's corroborated here by the Strength with the 9 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, okay? Because we're hearing the call, Judgment. All right, we're answering the call even, and it's about allowing the cycles to close out here. It's about allowing things that need to fall away to continue to fall away, and to do the cleansing and the clearing and the healing work, you know, of our emotions, the grieving process as well, in order to get through the grief, get through the grieving, dry your eyes, and allow yourself to make a new decision. 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups. This could be in terms of a relationship, but quite frankly, I feel like this is us making a decision, 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups, in terms of having a greater balance and harmony and union within that is allowing these situations, 10 of Swords, to come to a close, and is moving us closer towards the 10 of Cups, or our ultimate emotional fulfillment, maybe even a family life ultimately in the future. However, right now in this situation, I feel like there are certain familial structures or societal structures that are coming to a close. The Tower with the 10 of Cups. Okay, the Emperor here is providing us with an energy of being in the master of our own domain in order to put down the strife, the burden, the things that we are no longer responsible for, the things that we no longer need to carry with us, the things that bog us down, that keep us low in vibration, that keep us dense in energy, that keep us from rising above or ascending or raising our vibration, that keep us from moving forward with our heart's desire here. Knight of Cups, okay? This is a really beautiful energy, you guys. I want to get one more pull. But I really do feel, I kind of, to be honest with you guys, I feel like this death energy, I'm sorry, well, yeah, okay, death energy, but this world energy with the Knight of Wands is like, it sums up this month of December, because so many of us are in this energy right now of just kind of sitting back and waiting, taking time to ourselves, taking time to rest. And when we do need to take action, we're notified and we take that action. But for the most part, we're just kind of sitting in our confidence, sitting in our power, and allowing the universe or cycles to close out. Okay, I did just see 222 on the counter. I want to get one more pull on this, please, for the collective. Wow. All right, Seven of Pentacles. Yep, definitely a review process going on, for sure. And this is also why we're waiting for the right time to strike, because we have to go through the situation. We have to go through the harvest here. We have to look at what we've been up against lately, over the last few years even, and pick through it and see, what do we want to keep and what do we want to toss? What do we want to continue growing? What do we want to continue cultivating and nurturing? And what do we just want to scrap and start all over? You guys, you have that with the Seven of Pentacles, yeah, with Justice and the Sun. So right now, this period is all about keeping the balance here. Two of Pentacles, you have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, okay? Making choices for yourself. Checks and balances here is what I just heard. Making choices for yourself that bring you into greater balance and allow you to step away from the self-sabotaging or the lose-lose situations here that involve other people and their desires, their needs that are not yours to fulfill, and loving yourself enough. Ace of Cups, Eight of Pentacles to the Eight of Wands to the Hanged Man. Look at this shit. This is beautiful. This is so incredibly beautiful, you guys. I really love this for us. I really, really do. So really, the main collective message that I'm feeling right now and I'm hearing right now is just sit back and wait. I literally just heard that. Just sit back and wait for the moment to strike, for the right time to strike. All is well. You do not have to worry. And I guess don't just sit back and do nothing. Allow yourself to learn from the contrast. Allow yourself to go through the process of understanding what it is you want, understanding what it is you need versus what it is you have now, taking stock, being grateful also. Okay? I do definitely feel like with Justice here, there's an energy of leaving the past behind, I just heard, but learning from the contrast, bringing greater balance into the situation, and in many cases, even stepping off the karmic hamster wheel. Even though normally that would be symbolized by, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, but the Seven of Pentacles here can also represent an energy of, like, say, Einstein's definition of insanity, of doing something over and over again, expecting a different result. But with the Two of Pentacles and the Lovers here, and also the Five of Swords, and then the Ace of Cups, I do feel like we're in a process of letting go, choosing to make a decision, choosing to do something else or go in a different direction that allows us to bring greater justice and greater balance into our lives. Okay. All right, we're gonna go into the deeper look, but I want to get a closing message here for this first half of the reading. For those of you that are not going to be following us, over to Patreon, patreon.com/Divine Conversations. Yes, link is in the description box below if you'd like to get in on the deeper look here. But I'm going to get a closing oracle guidance, and I want to do that. I'm being called to go with the Gaia Oracle today for us here. All right. So, 5 shuffles here. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. seems to be some sort of construction going on in the background. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Okay, here we go, kids. Closing oracle message here for the first half of this reading. Aw. Well, this is sweet. You have card number 29, which does boil down to an 11. You have thinking of you, a loving thought, serendipity. Okay. Well, this is sweet. This card is confirmation that someone you have been thinking of is also thinking of you. It may be someone who has passed away or a living friend, family member, or loved one. Our thoughts and feelings are energy frequencies or wavelengths that transcend space and time. We all transmit and receive information through our thoughts and feelings. It makes no difference whether someone is near or far, alive or has passed. We are subconsciously in constant communication with those we think about and love. Having heard this, you probably imagine your thoughts traveling through space and time. However, in actuality, nothing really travels anywhere. This is because energetically or spiritually, there is no separation in the first place. We are all interconnected and ultimately one, eternally held within an ocean of divine love. The great cosmic ocean of life is as vast and endless as we can imagine it to be. And at the same time, it can be smaller than the smallest particle. Your affirmation here is, all I love lives forever in my heart. I am one with all humanity. I am one with all creation. I am in constant communion with everyone. Let's say that again. I am in constant communion with everyone. Time and space are real only when I believe they are. Let's say that one more time. All I love lives forever in my heart. I am one with all humanity. I am one with all creation. I am in constant communion with everyone. Time and space are real only when I believe they are. Excellent. So there you have it, kids. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful for you. We are going to mosey on over to Patreon to get a little bit of a deeper look here, but you're not following us there. Thank you guys so very much. I love you all so very much. And I look forward to connecting with you again for our next cup of coffee tomorrow morning. Yeah? Take care. Mwah! Bye.